Hello and welcome to episode number 14 of the Two Goal Lead podcast presented by BCHL Network. My name is Brian Wiebe. I'm the owner and editor-in-chief of BCHLnetwork.ca. .com works as well. And I'm thrilled to have you along here for the ride on the Two Goal Lead podcast. After a bit of a hiatus, things really busy in life. And so as a result, I haven't been able to get an episode posted for a couple of weeks, but I'm thrilled to have you along here for the ride in this episode, and also thrilled about the guest that we've got here on the Two Goal Lead podcast this week. He is from the Surrey Eagles. He's a defender. He's from White Rock. He's a 19-year-old. His name is Ty Brassington. Ty, thanks so much for taking the time to join us here on the Two Goal Lead podcast presented by BCHL Network.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So the BCHL made some major headlines on May 1st, announcing it wasn't renewing its membership with Hockey Canada. What impact does the league's decision have on how you approach playing in the league as someone who's entering his third season?
Honestly, I don't know. You go at it again, like you stick to your season approach kind of sort of thing. You talk with like your coaches and whatnot, and you stick with the same game plan as you always do, and just kind of work hard in every practice you get. And it doesn't really change a whole lot for as a player, I should say, in my spot, because you work hard and you meet all your teammates, and it doesn't matter who's on your team or whatever's going on, you're all going to be gelling together, and you're going to be meeting new players and new faces all the time anyways. So, but yeah, just same approach, work hard and get to know everyone. And the rest will take care of itself.
Now that some time has passed since the Eagles season ended, what silver lining have you been able to identify about how the season went?
It was a real good one. I'll be honest. Like every player on my team, we loved each other a lot, and we had so much fun together. And I feel like not every team you can say every single player liked each other. And like, I feel like for the team that we had this past year, every single player really enjoyed spending time at the rink, and we loved coming to the rink, and we had a smile on our faces all the time. And to our coach, Cam Keith, he did a tremendous job at recruiting those type of players. And it paid dividends because we had a pretty decent season and we fell short to our goal. But it was just super enjoyable, and every player wanted to be there for each other, and that went a long way.
So what do you reflect upon when you think about that Game 7 against Alberni Valley in the second round?
I reflect upon like everyone, like a little bit of nerves kicking in before the game, and I see you notice the bigger crowds, I guess, and but yeah, it's fun. It was a lot of fun to play in that type of an atmosphere, and the game on the line there, and like your whole season, you're thinking about try not to think about like the outcome and what could happen, but just a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of enjoyment, because you don't want to go home, but and you just want to keep battling for the boys in the locker room. So just a lot of excitement during that game. I had a lot of fun. Was that the biggest game you've ever played in? Yes, I think it was. Yeah, it was. And I think it was. And I just enjoyed it a lot though. So I had a lot of fun. What was your mindset going into this past season after getting into 50 games as a rookie the year before? Continue to work hard in every practice and gym session you get, and continue to take in information from all the players on the team and coaches, and just be willing to learn as much as you can. And I'm so young still. And just having an open mindset and learning as you go. Which Eagles player that you've been with either last season or this season or both has had the most influence on your career? I would have to go with Tate Taylor, one of my really good buddies. He was I played with him in grade 10, and then he went to the Eagles in grade 11, but I stayed at the academy we were both at. And then we played with each other 2 years ago. And then last year, or this past season, I should say. And he's just like, after every little play, every single like mistake or whatever it is, he's always there to like kind of have words of wisdom for you and encouragement, and we kind of feed off each other in that. And he's been there forever, and he helps everyone around you and not just me. He's a true leader in the locker room, and he's helped me a lot out. So when you look at your point totals, you doubled them from last season to this one. What do you attribute that improvement to? I'd say my coach, Cam Keith, and my assistant coach, Dawson. They just given me the opportunity to be able to like thrive in the offensive zone and not be afraid to make mistakes. And Cam was always preaching on me, like, go take that risk, go take that chance. And But yeah, Cam's been a real helper to that, and he wants me to keep going. So yeah, Cam, like head coach for sure.
Do you think that the offensive side of your game is something that maybe is a little bit untapped at this point?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, I'm really trying to dig deep into the offensive zone and learn as much as I can in that part of the game. And yeah, it's what coach says too. He says he knows I have more to learn, and I got some more juice up there. So yeah, that's something that I really want to work on. Yep.
What do you think is your strength as a defender?
I would say my closing speed on players in the D zone and my leadership back there. Say like any stressful situations, I find I'm there to help players out and figure out what spot to be in, and I feel I use my voice pretty well in the D zone.
What was the message from the Eagles coaching staff before taking off for the summer?
Have a good time. Enjoy the break you have, and be willing to work hard and get back to the task in hand, and come back next year a little better.
Speaking of working hard, what aspects of your game do you feel you still have to improve on?
A little bit of everything, honestly. Mostly the offensive zone. I find I still want to get better at that a lot, and learn from everyone in that part of the game, and the D zone as well. I feel like I can still be heavier, and I can close my gap on so many players, and continue to improve on that part of the game.
Now, with you coming into your third season in the league, how much do you relish the role of being a leader on that Eagles blue line?
Yeah, I take tremendous pride in being a leader and being able to help other players out, whether they're older or younger. And yeah, I try to use my voice as much as I can, and words of encouragement, because encouragement goes a long way. It doesn't matter if you had a bad shift or a good shift, just being there to have a couple words with your teammate of like just encouragement, and telling them to focus on the good thing he did that shift, that little pass he made. Like that was an unreal play, like focus on that type of stuff. And that goes a long way.
When you're talking to players who maybe aren't as experienced in the BCHL as you are, how much do you draw back upon those first games you played in 2021 and thinking about what it was like for you to be in that spot?
I've thought about that before, and yeah, it's tough. It's a tough league to bounce on up in, and I had you could say, I guess, a slower start to my 2021 season, my rookie year there. And I just tell them like, just it's your own path, and like you may start off really good in the first 5 games and you fall off, or you start off not very good and you're not really like you're happy where you are. And I just tell them that take it day by day and continue to put your head down and work hard, and the rest will come. And because you're here for a reason, and obviously your coach likes you, so just keep working hard.
So take me back to August 2021. That's when the Eagles announced that you had committed to playing with them after playing, like you mentioned, at the Delta Hockey Academy. What was it about the Eagles that made you want to sign with them?
It was, first of all, Cam's words of how the team is built. He said character is a big part of the way he built the team, and I really I preach that quite a bit, is character, and even my mom and dad, like they talk about being a real character guy, and I really like that, and also being a Surrey Eagle is being close to home for me. I still live at home with my mom and my siblings, and I've grew up being an Eagles fan since I can remember, and going to the games and whatnot. So when he gave me the chance to be an Eagle, it was a no doubter, and I wanted to become an Eagle.
So I wanted to ask you about that. You're from White Rock. You're just minutes away from the South Surrey Arena in terms of that community. Does it hold that special meaning to play for the Surrey Eagles team?
Yes, it absolutely does. I love every second of it, and I take tremendous pride in putting on that jersey every night, and knowing that I used to be that little kid dreaming of playing for the Eagles, and you'd want to, can I get a stick type of thing? Can I get an autograph? You're always saying that. So, I do take tremendous pride. And whenever you're going back to the locker room, kids always want high fives, and I try to take the best of time to give them a high five or acknowledgement, just a little fist pump and saying, thanks guys, like that type of stuff. So yeah, it's awesome being close to home and playing home.
So which players, when you were one of those kids looking for an autograph or a fist bump, do you remember had an impact on you when you were little?
Danton Heinen, actually. He was one of the guys he made eye contact with me. I can remember that. And he just made eye contact, gave me a fist pump, and said, "Hey, man." I was like, "Whoa, that was pretty cool." Like, all right, like, and now like you look back, and I was like, "Hey, like, that guy's in the NHL now," and so, and yeah, that's one guy that like helped me a lot, or I could say encouraged me to keep my dreams going, and yeah.
You only got into one game with DHA during your 16-year-old season due to the pandemic, of course. What impact do you think that season had on your overall development?
It was a different one, that's for sure. I was also injured that year quite a bit too. So, yeah, everyone was kind of going through that non-ice. You had to like wear social distance, you had to wear a mask constantly. So, but you'd find ways to improve your game on and off the ice. And when we had time to go on the ice, you just try to get as much info as you can from other players and your coach. And I had Yogi Sveikovsky as my coach, and he's a well-known guy in the hockey industry from BC standpoint, and he helped me a lot. And I remember when I was injured, he made me a video from the bench, the whole practice, to keep me kind of dialed into the practice plan, even though I wasn't skating. So, yeah, everyone was kind of going through that same difficulties, and so we all kind of helped each other out.
So growing up, were there any NHL players who you tried to model your game after?
I really liked Alex Edler, especially when the Canucks made their big Stanley Cup run in 2011. He was kind of like the stud of the team, I guess, running the power play, and he also blocked so many shots, and so he was a guy that I modeled my game after, sort of speak.
Have you always played defense?
I have, yeah. I've always been you could say a stay-at-home D-man. I preach the defensive side of the game a lot more than the offensive side. So, yeah, I've always been in love with defense.
What's your favorite thing about playing at the South Surrey Arena?
I would have to say the atmosphere and the fans. It's gotten a lot better since COVID, and COVID kind of made, I guess, the number of fans in the building a little bit less than you expect, but it's gone up and up each single game. And so I'd have to say that. And it's just a nice overall like facility around it too. It's like there's a lot of soccer fields and whatnot. And so like when you want to get warmed up or anything like that, it's pretty easy to get warmed up and play a game of Sioux with the guys.
Do you think that the Olympic-sized ice there lends itself well to your game?
I do, yeah. I've loved playing on that ice since I got here, and it's bigger, so it's almost hard to close space on opponents when you think of that. But it also gives you more time with the puck and gives you like an extra millisecond to look around and make a play. But yeah, I really like it. And Cam, our coach, has built the team around that type of ice surface where you have a little bit more time. So we have a ton of skill and speed on our team in both years, and I think it's really helped us.
So now thinking about the away arenas, what's your favorite road rink to play in?
I've really enjoyed playing in the Q Center, which is in Victoria Grizzlies. That rink's pretty sweet. It's got a jumbotron up top, and that's something that our rink doesn't have just yet. But I enjoy that, and it's the ice I believe it's a normal size rink, so it's awesome. And just that facility is pretty nice.
So what's the on the flip side? And maybe this is the same answer, but for you, what's the most difficult BCHL road arena to play in, and how come?
I believe Port Alberni, the Alberni Bulldogs there. I've had a ton of ups and downs there, I guess you could say, and I've played there a handful of games now. In that playoff series we had, and we couldn't buy one against them in that arena. And their fans they're loud, and they help their whole team out, and they're behind their backs, and they're like the seventh player, I guess you could say, on the ice. And it's loud, and it's fun to play in, but it's hard to play in, honestly. And you're trying to like get a talk from the coach in the huddle, and you can barely hear it. So yeah, Alberni's a tough rink.
All right. Awesome stuff, Ty. Thanks so much for doing this, and best of luck for the off season.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
There's a bright future ahead for that man, Ty Brassington from the Surrey Eagles, defender heading into his third season in the BC Hockey League. Love to have him along here on the 2 Goal Lead podcast presented by BCHL Network. And that'll do it for episode number 14. I do thank you for listening along here. I do want to remind you to check out the website because we've got some pretty cool stuff posted over there, including an article about what we know right now about the BCHL's roster rules heading into the 23-24 season, of course, as an independent league. out from under the umbrella of Hockey Canada, and also some articles there too, interviews with Chris Hebb, the CEO of the BC Hockey League, and also the commissioner of the BCHL, Steve Cocker too. So lots of exciting articles and in-depth stuff to talk about the BCHL leaving Hockey Canada, posted over there at bchlnetwork.ca. By the way, if you'd like to join our team at BCHL Network, we are looking for writers to cover all sorts of different teams and topics. You can just click on Join Our Team there on the website, and there's a form that you can fill out, your name, your email, the city that you currently live in, and then a brief little blurb on why you want to be part of our team. The email will be sent directly to me, and I'll get back to you, and hopefully we can bring you on board to join the team at BCHL Network. All right, so coming up on our next episode, we will feature a guest, episode number 15. Can't believe we're there already. We'll feature a member of the Trail Smoke Eaters, so looking forward to that. And you can keep an eye on everywhere where you get your favorite podcasts, like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify. There's one more that I'm missing. Stitcher, that's what it is. So keep an eye out for that podcast coming up next week on BCHL Network and the 2 Goal Lead podcast. So my name is Brian Wiebe. Thank you again for tuning in to this episode of the podcast, and I'll talk to you next time.